First biggest takeaway. This one has to do with the Golden State Warriors. No, it doesn't matter at all that Draymond Green has had personal beef with Chris Paul. Personal is not the right word, but basketball beef with Chris Paul in the past, or that Chris Paul and Steve Kerr have had altercations in the past, or that Klay Thompson and Rodney McGruder have had issues in the past. It just doesn't matter. And for the record, this is not the first time we've done this sort of thing. Lance Stevenson famously was a huge pain in the ass to LeBron and was his teammate in 2019, and they were fine. This is a completely common thing that happens in the NBA and a really common thing with competitors. Draymond Green gave a really well thought out quote about this. I encourage you guys to check it out. If you go to the Warriors YouTube page, they have it in there. They have it in the with the all their other videos they posted with the media availability. But he basically said, like, yeah, Chris Paul's a little bit of an asshole on the court, but he's like, so am I. And he's one of the best competitors in the league, and so am I. And that inevitably is going to lead to situations on the court where we butt heads. And it really is that simple. This is not a hard concept for you guys to get. Even outside the realm of basketball, competitiveness exists. Being a little bit more of an asshole when something's on the line is completely normal. Anybody who's good at anything probably got good at it because they're competitive in some way, shape, or form. And there are different types of competitive personalities, to be clear, but it's totally normal to experience a negative emotion or have a negative interaction with somebody in a competitive environment that doesn't actually represent the way you would treat each other off the court. You know, chances are Draymond Green and Chris Paul, if they met each other just as buddies growing up, would get along just fine. But that doesn't mean that in a basketball situation when they're on opposite sides that they won't butt heads. Yeah, Klay Thompson and Rodney McGruder got into it a little bit. Klay Thompson said some stuff like, you're going to be out of the league. He probably didn't even mean that. But he's talking shit. He's talking shit. It's a thing that happens in basketball games. It's completely normal. And it's not even exclusive to basketball. So I don't think it matters. If anything, I think it's a good thing because those types of interactions are, like Draymond said, an indicator of your overall give a shit factor. And you just brought in players that give a shit at a similar level to the way that you do. I can think personally for me, I play with guys now that I've played against in the past and had negative relationships with. It's so nothing. And I don't think it's going to have any sort of negative impact on the Warriors. In fact, I believe it's going to have a positive impact. All right, mailbag questions. So, first one. This one I'm not calling out any specific question. I had the Warriors video yesterday, and I had a ton of guys bringing up the free throw disparity in that series. And so I wanted to point out an obvious fact. Warriors fans, yes, the Lakers shot a lot more free throws than you in that series. Also, did you know that the Lakers led the NBA in free throw attempts per 100 possessions, and the Warriors were dead last in the entire NBA in free throw attempts per 100 possessions for the whole season? Also, did you know the Lakers allowed opponents to shoot the fewest amount of free throw attempts per 100 possessions in the entire NBA, and the Warriors ranked 23rd on that list? So all season for 82 games, the Lakers were really good at drawing fouls and never fouled anybody. And the Warriors were absolutely terrible at drawing fouls and fouled too much. So it's literally impossible for those two teams to play each other and not have a big free throw disparity. If you're focusing on the free throw disparity, you're losing sight of all of the other things that are happening on the court. I also had guys talking about Andrew Wiggins' ribs. Like LeBron was playing on a bad foot that cut his regular season points per game by 6. You know, everyone's banged up. I'm not trying to say that like there aren't wrinkles and things that can happen in a series that sway the outcome, of course, but it happens to everybody. And it's a loser mentality to not accept the loss and identify where you can improve to make sure that doesn't happen again versus making excuses. Because I promise you, if the Warriors go about this season thinking we're going to win as long as we get a better whistle and as long as Andrew Wiggins' ribcage doesn't get caved in, I'm sorry, you're just going to lose again. So, like, I'll give you the Lakers as an example. You guys know the Lakers are the team that I root for the most. They lost in the Nuggets series because they were too unathletic in the backcourt, because LeBron James and Anthony Davis couldn't make jump shots and because they did not have a playoff playable backup center. They had a great offseason. They addressed a lot of regular season depth needs. Did they get any more athletic in the backcourt? No. Did LeBron or Anthony Davis get better as jump shooters? We will see. Did they bring in a playoff playable center? Probably not. Now, Bruce Brown is gone, so their athletic mismatches in the backcourt might not be as big of a deal. But here's the deal. The Lakers can blame, like I saw Anthony Davis yesterday talk about, we had to hit it hard for 2 months going into the playoffs. That's great. But you also had problems against the Nuggets. And so if you think just because we have a full training camp and we can have a normal season, we're going to beat the Nuggets now, you're not beat. The Bruce Brown piece will help you with your athleticism matchup in the backcourt. That's good. But if LeBron James and Anthony Davis don't start making damn jump shots, and if they don't find somebody that can anchor the center position with LeBron on the floor and Anthony Davis off, you're going to lose to the Nuggets again. You see what I'm saying? Like, as teams, excuse making might offer you some sort of temporary emotional benefit. But reality is the only way you're going to identify your problems, address your problems, and make the necessary steps to win the next time you get there. That's what winners do. And I expect the Warriors to do so. I promise you, the Warriors aren't going into this season thinking the Lakers beat us because of the refs, or the Lakers beat us because Wiggins' rib cage got caved in. I promise you that's not what they're thinking. They're thinking we have to be better in these specific areas to be able to beat the Lakers.